To Jason Lee, welcome to the YouTube Members Club. As Hong Kong emerges from strict pandemic measures, focus shifts to Cathay Pacific, an airline we know all too well here on the channel, following it facing some of its most challenging years in history. Months that saw traffic plummet to 99.9% below pre-pandemic levels, and with every month only seemingly increasing 0.1% on each occasion. Do subscribe to Globetrotting. We're almost at 6,000 subscribers, and there's a couple videos already on the channel with a new one going live today. Now, while you'd imagine Cathay are widely relieved that restrictions are slowly but surely easing in Hong Kong, allowing once again for more tourists to arrive, it isn't entirely smooth sailing. As you're going to find out, for Cathay, it really is a worst-case scenario when attempting a recovery as a business. In what is being labelled as unprecedented by the Hong Kong Aircrew Officers Association, Cathay Pacific is facing staff shortages, and worse still, it'll have to keep its airfares high. Staff shortages are all too present within our industry from all corners of the globe, whether you're a small airline or a major one. But for Hong Kong generally, it spells more disruption and damage. It critically impacts the recovery of the said city, aviation sector, and of course Cathay Pacific. However, there lies a far deeper rooted problem that Cathay Pacific has yet to be able to solve. And that's the desire from the public and also those overseas to come back and work for Cathay. Across the pandemic, Cathay Pacific experienced layoffs, yes, but also there was a staggering number of resignations. In fact, this was on record levels. No doubt, very personal, but also, I'd argue, obvious reasons. Nevertheless, though, they were resignations, and for Cathay, they've been unable to source the required personnel to replace these staff members, especially in the form of experienced pilots that walked away from the carrier due to the said working conditions and a whole lot more. Staffing shortages also stretch to training shortages. They lack the adequate personnel now to be able to train the next generation, and in the form of sensitive safety roles, it's not something that can be trained in a couple of months, and therefore, as you can imagine, will lead to problems if they're finding it hard to bring people back to Hong Kong to work for the airline. Cathay has indicated on numerous occasions their intention to hire thousands of new staff members. But for them to be able to do so, they need to have the conditions to which people want to either live in Hong Kong or B, work for them. And after reports and details emerged across the pandemic, many do not want to take that risk and are avoiding taking pleas by the airline to work for them. The recovery of Hong Kong is absolutely critical, and after being locked down for so long, Cathay Pacific does play a pivotal role in that. And as demand increases, which it no doubt will, they will be unable to meet said demand due to staff and training shortages across the board. It has been a hellish past few years for the company, and even as restrictions ease, they're still not nearly at blue skies just yet, with storm clouds looming over them as they emerge from the most difficult period in the company's history. What are your thoughts on the airline? Not so much regarding its poor performance over recent years, but its recovery and the staff shortages it is experiencing. Of course, in previous videos, I have detailed the difficulties Cathay are having sourcing staff members and the way they treated employees. Many don't want to go back and work there, so you can share your opinions down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. A massive thank you also goes out to all the cabin crew members for your continued support.